We are closely watching the coronavirus surge in Kansas and Missouri. On Tuesday, Missouri reported more than 5,700 new cases. That's one of the highest single-day totals since the start of the pandemic. Well, in Kansas's last update on Monday, the state reported more than 7,200 new infections. We'll get an update from health officials in both states today. As cases continue to rise, some school districts are changing their learning plans. Families in Lee's Summit will see major changes soon. KMUS Matt Evans has a closer look at the changes and when they'll happen.
Some students in the Lee's Summit School District just began full-time in-person learning on Monday. They'll only be in that format for a week because last night the Lee's Summit School Board voting to return all grades 4 through 12 back to remote learning, all virtual learning, at least through the end of this semester, and that'll begin starting next week. Grades 4 through 12 began a hybrid learning model in early October, with grades 4 through 6 transitioning to full-time in-person learning on Monday, but citing significant staffing challenges and health concerns as COVID-19 spreads uncontrollably in our community, the school board voted near unanimously to stop all in-person learning for those grades. The Lee's Summit superintendent saying during last night's meeting there has been a considerable shift in the past week. The virus is no longer just spreading outside of school. There's been multiple cases where spread and transmission has happened inside the classroom. Cases have skyrocketed in the district in the past few weeks, just like in the community, growing from 17 new cases reported the week of October 20th to the 26th to 123 new cases reported the week of November 10th through the 16th. The goal is to get those grades 4 through 12 back into at least some form of in-person learning when the spring semester begins on January 25th. The school board also voting last night to keep the current format in place for pre-K through 3rd grade. They'll continue with full-time in-person learning, at least for the time being. In Lee's Summit, Matt Evans, KMBC 9 News.
Well, right now, Staley High School is closed for deep cleaning. High school students are learning online through the end of today. The goal is to return them to hybrid learning tomorrow. Principal says there have been 27 cases in the past 2 weeks, and the school's positivity rate is more than double that of the communities. District's working with the Clay County Health Department. Well, the United Methodist Church of the Resurrection is going back to online services only. This will start on Sunday and applies to all locations across the metro. Candlelight Christmas Eve services will also be streamed online and broadcast on December 23rd and 24th. More than 30,000 people attend the service during a normal year. And more local nurses are speaking out, saying they don't have enough personal protective equipment to handle the surge in COVID cases. Last night, a group of nurses held a protest outside HCA Midwest headquarters in Overland Park. They wore N95 masks covered with red paint meant to represent blood. The nurses say it's not just that they don't have enough PPE. They're concerned that their hospitals don't have enough people on staff right now to handle the growing patient load.
I think the frustration level is very high. The burnout is very high for the nurses. We want to be protected. We want to be at the bedside. We want to serve our communities. But we also want the hospital to protect us.
You are going to have fatigue among employees, but our administration, the hospitals are doing the best they can to make sure that there is adequate staffing and that, we do have each other's back.
HCA Midwest Health is out with a statement. A spokesperson writing in part, throughout our response to COVID-19, our focus has been on protecting our colleagues and ensuring our people have enough personal protective equipment. Well, limit on how many people can be in a restaurant and the hours it operates, plus restrictions on fitness centers and weddings are key parts of a new COVID-19 emergency order in Clay County, Missouri. KMUS Martin Augustine live this morning at Liberty to fill us in on the changes. Martin, good morning. Now, when does this go into effect?
It's going to start on Monday, November 23rd. The spike in COVID cases pushing Clay County to adopt these new restrictions, tougher restrictions that have been in place before, including a limit on how many people can be in a gym getting their daily workout. The new order caps the number at 50% of the capacity of a gym or rec center. What's more, face masks are required during that workout. Restaurants and bars must also operate at 50% capacity and close at 10 p.m. Face masks are now required outdoors if it's impossible to keep 6 feet of space around you, and indoor gatherings will be limited to no more than 10 people. If you're planning a wedding, you kind of fall in between a couple of these here, the 10-person limit of a gathering and the 50% capacity of a bar, restaurant, or in this case, some sort of wedding venue. If you're having a wedding in the short term in Clay County, you're going to need to submit some sort of report to the Clay County Health Department explaining how you're going to mitigate the potential spread of any COVID-19. Now, that's a lot of detail in there, and there's plenty of things that we haven't covered here, but I do have the complete order in a link up now on my Twitter feed and on my KBCI News Facebook page. That comes complete with plenty of frequently asked questions where you can suss out a lot of details. Reporting live, Martin Augustine, KBC 9 News.
Martin, thank you so much. It's 8:39, and Clay County's emergency order, by the way, remains in place until further notice. And Kansas City, Missouri Mayor Quentin Lucas appeared on CNN Tuesday to talk about the city's dire COVID-19 situation. He said it's partly because areas opened too quickly after the spring shutdown.
We are dealing with the repercussions of that now. High death rates, infections, etc., that have created more concerns in this area, and the things that continue to get worse as the weather has gotten colder, as people are inside more, and as certainly we're getting closer to the Thanksgiving holiday.
Well, make sure you start making plans, by the way, speaking of holidays, for a virtual Thanksgiving dinner. That's the advice from local doctors as COVID cases go up. There are three options, according to the Kansas Health Secretary. Safe gathering would be one with 4 or fewer people, all wearing masks. A safer gathering would be one with only members of the same family. The safest option would be skipping in-person gatherings altogether.
If we screw up during Thanksgiving and have a huge surge of cases, December is going to be bleak. So I would recommend that people virtually carve the turkey with those they love.
Dr. Norman there says we may not know the real impact until 7 to 10 days after Thanksgiving. Health officials are just now seeing the impact of Halloween-related gatherings. And right now, so many families are faced with tough decisions about canceling holiday plans. Of course, it can be emotional. In fact, some mental health experts compare it to a grieving process. This time of year is supposed to be happy, after all. It's supposed to be filled with family traditions and high expectations. Well, the pandemic has already proved to be a lonely and stressful time for all of us. But now that health officials are strongly discouraging family and holiday gatherings, loved ones can feel a sense of loss or even guilt about canceling plans. Mental health experts encourage honest conversations about it.
We can't just brush off the fact that this is a challenging time. And so it's okay to acknowledge the disappointment that you're feeling, the guilt that you may be feeling, but also knowing you're trying to make the best decisions that you can.
Well, here's an important phone number to know if you or someone you know needs some mental health help in Johnson County. Call 913-268-0156.